I'd like to introduce a very special guest today. We've got Lily de Klerk, who is the CEO of the South African Business Council in UAE, which is based in Dubai. Lily is new to the role, and she's been I think about six months or so. Lily's been involved, but I've gotten to know Lily through the International Association of South African Chambers, and we meet quarterly. And I thought it was a good idea to have a one-on-one discussion with Lily to profile herself, but also profile the South African Business Council in Dubai. So we're going to have an interactive discussion, and we're going to have a brief Q&A at the end. So I've got a few questions for Lily, and then we'll open it up to the floor. So a warm welcome, Lily. And I think just to kick off and break the ice, maybe I can ask you just to introduce yourself to the listeners. Where are you from, and how did you end up in Dubai?
Of course. Thanks, Jason. All right, so born in South Africa in Kempton, but grew up most of my life in Bloemfontein. Started working in the Brangus Cattle Breeders Society and Wildlife Stud Services. So it's a little bit of a more of a agricultural background where I supported breeders and growers with their genetics, pedigrees, farm inspections, supported the administration thereof, working alongside Dr. Paul Lubout. And then after that, I moved on to potato certification services, still in agriculture. Um, where we supported the development team with the database. So I don't know if everybody is aware, but with potatoes, there's a lot of data that goes into it. There are virus testing, DNA testing, bacterial testing, light sprout evaluations, obviously a lot of field inspections and tuber inspections as well. And all that data needs to be captured. So I supported the development team and development of the system with the potato certification, which services, which follows the potato certification scheme in South Africa to provide potatoes with utmost quality that they use for planting. Yeah, and then from there on, my husband came over quite a few times for projects in Dubai. He's in the events industry, and at some point, I followed him as well. So in 2014, we came to Dubai for the first time. I worked as a communication manager. Then we went back and forward. Obviously, COVID came, and after that, I came back with my husband again for our next round in 2022, where he started getting involved as a member from the South African Business Council, and they needed some support with the database, and that's where I started helping the South African Business Council with the member database.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that led to my position a couple of years later, where Larisha, my predecessor, reached out to me to support her going forward, taking over the role as the CEO
Oh,
from
great.
Southco.
Okay, so you've come from a farmer's girl or Burumasi through to Dubai, which is all glitz and glam. So no, fantastic, interesting background that you have there, Lily. And maybe just to tell the listeners a little bit about the council. You're not a chamber, but you guys given
Exactly.
yourselves the name of the South African Business Council of the UAE. So maybe just give everyone a little bit of background of when that started and how you've evolved.
So back in the day, it started out more as a social club, I would say. People, like-minded people connecting South Africans that have businesses in the UAE. And then officially registered with Dubai Chamber as a nonprofit in 2015. And basically from there onwards, it has migrated more to a business focused type of council where we support our members, connect them, support them with initiatives, connecting them with the government, with the Dubai Chamber, DET, the embassy obviously as well, and then across the board also receive delegations and support them with their missions to the UAE.
Okay, it's interesting that just talking to Mike a bit earlier. So the UK Chamber started as a business club and evolved to a chamber. When I was in Singapore, it was the South Africans in Singapore, which is a social club. We did Braais. and then it evolved into the chamber. So I think it sounds like there's a common thread with the social side, South Africans getting together over a braai and then
Exactly.
forming a chamber. So just how many members, and maybe just share with the listener who are your members? Have you got some big corporates, or is it a combination of individuals, or
So
maybe?
we are roughly about 145 members, and this ranges from professionals right through to your SMEs and corporates. We're very blessed to have pioneer leadership within our team. For example, we've got Imtiaz Patel, previous CEO of
Mm.
MultiChoice, on
Oh
our
yeah.
board. He's our chairman. And then vice chairman, we've got Barry Bedford from MediClinic. He's our CEO of MediClinic. And then also various directors from Investec, Sieve, Seven Insurance, TaxX, who does most of the South Africans tax in in Dubai. So just to name the directors, and
Okay.
then yeah, the members. We have other members like Absas also on board with us. We've got Netbank. Um,
Wow, you got
sorry, quite a
some
few
high
names.
profile
Yes.
corporates, yeah. Okay. And then in
Mm.
individuals, do you have that membership category for individuals as
Correct.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. So any professional can join us as well, to expand their business or connect with other like-minded individuals within the community. So
Okay.
in the end, it all comes down to what is community about, right?
Yeah.
Connections and the
So
connections that come with that connection.
yeah. So this is where, the collaboration between chambers is so good because we get to hear who your members are, who you're dealing
Mm.
with, and those chambers can also, can open the doors for the other chambers to meet other members. And at a corporate level, I think that's one of the goals of the International Association. So I'm going to come to a question which I think is on probably on everyone's minds, and let's just deal with the elephant in the room. But how are things in Dubai, given the political circumstances and what's happening? We had a chat now with one of the groups, and Mike asked the question to Telo that was on. So I think if the rest of the listeners just give everyone an
Mm.
overview of what's happening on the ground.
Well, at the end of February, everything was business as normal. So when March came, it was quite a big shock. The initial phase, kind of to mitigate everything, children were sent home to do homeschooling with their parents, still following through on the classes. Everybody was still traveling and doing things and working, but most parents work from home. So business were a bit slow during that period, just to kind of see how things would turn around. And
Yeah,
then from April onwards, everything returned back to normal. Once the children were back in the school, everything started escalating. In terms of business practices, you could see it on the roads. The traffic has picked up tremendously as well. And leading up to now, it's been quite a progressive growth in terms of businesses trying to do business and
yeah,
continue with business as normal. Obviously, now, given the current time of the year that we are in, it's summer. Business is slightly quieter than usual, but everybody is prepping. Most of the events have moved on to the end of the year, so everybody is planning ahead. Everything's continuing as normal. But just to add to that, we're very grateful with the leadership and support that we received from the government. They've just been amazing right through the whole process. So yeah,
well, that's
it's been
great.
amazing, and we felt so
Yeah,
safe here. So yeah, it's good to
yeah.
know that we're well taken care of.
Yeah. No, so I was at a an event earlier in the year, and it was a private equity fund event, and these guys are based in Dubai, Germans. But they were saying, yeah, it's business as usual, but there obviously is a drop in
Mm,
tourism. There's an impact. There's
mm,
some flights not coming in, but I mean, it's great that Dubai is bouncing back, and I feel for those of you that had to do homeschooling because I remember those days during COVID and it was it wasn't fun having to work and deal with young kids. So I'm glad
exactly.
I'm glad for you that that's over. So just in terms of specifically on the council itself, can you share what are your priorities? I mean, we're mid through the year, so
Mm.
maybe some priorities for the rest of the year? What are you focusing on from that perspective?
Well, if we just rewind a bit, coming from the whole situation in March, one of our main focuses was to support the community as best we can. And that kind of just carries now through during the summer as well. And that is to connect our members, help them, and facilitate business as best we can to ensure that business continues as normal and also build on new relationships and also strengthen the relationship that we have with Dubai Chamber and the governmental departments, as well as our partners with freelance organizations that support business here in the UAE. Everybody is all about knowledge sharing lately,
Mm,
and I think we connect well with that as well, making everything as successful as possible. And we also have quite a few wellness webinars that we've been including to our members as well to give them that extra support following through with the summer as soon as the business starts picking up tremendously again in September. But yeah, it's basically to focus on that. And then we've got quite a few events lined up as well that would help our community to connect and also get information. We're planning a women's event at the end of August, quite a few inter-council events as well. And then we've got community events like our Bride Day. It's going to be in
okay,
October on the beach. It's going to be very nice. And then we've got our our annual golf day that we also host. So we love to see everybody there. And then
great. Well,
some
it's a
knowledge
packed
sessions
agenda.
too. Yeah, exactly.
So something that we need to do better at as an international council is we need to share our events because I think it'd be fantastic, like, that members of the UK chamber or whichever chamber knows what's
Mm.
going on in Dubai so that if they are in town for the golf day,
Yes, of course.
that they
Yeah.
can join and network. So we should share our calendars. I know that's something on the agenda. Share our
Mm.
calendars as chambers so we can all benefit. So just a little bit around what starting a business in Dubai. I mean, can you maybe just give the listeners an update or an overview of starting a business and how you support someone coming to Dubai?
Well, I think the first thing which would be most ideal is when you do plan on coming to Dubai, first reach out to the council. It's good to have that support. And what I mean by that is there's so many people that come to Dubai, think, okay, I'm going to start a business, and they don't know where to start. And then Google and start with the first thing they see on the screen. In the end, they have to pay school fees
Mm,
because either the licensing or the bank account, they have issues with that, or they can't follow through because of the connections that they don't have. So it's best to speak to an advisor, reach out to us. We can connect them with the right companies that are trusted and can provide the professional support that they need, and then also advise them going forward. But other than that, obviously, we can support as well with visibility with our packages that we have, and
mm.
also referrals and support them understanding what their business is about and how we can connect them with the right people going forward, maybe having collaborations on certain products that they want to sell, or just getting into the market, knowing more about the market itself as well, because that could also be a challenge.
No, great. Okay, excellent. Two more questions because I'm just conscious of time. Um, so industries, obviously we know that Dubai, UAE is oil and tourism. What else are
Yes.
the up and coming industries in the UAE?
So from Dubai's focus, there's a lot of new emerging sectors that they're really focusing on. That is renewable energy, sustainability, obviously your normal agriculture and food security, and then the most up and coming ones that I've been exposed to is fintech, as well as AI and digital services, and then advanced manufacturing. I would say
Okay.
that would sum it up.
Okay, good. So yeah, I think there's a big trend towards that. The guys that I met with on Tuesday are doing not fintech, pharma tech and industrial tech. So tech's
Mm,
obviously big, but
mm.
we know that globally. Just a question on yourself, Lily, in terms of your leadership style. What are some of the principles and guidelines that you follow as a leader, as yourself, firstly, and then and how you integrate that into the council.
Well, my main core goal is always service first. See how I can support someone, listen to what they have to say, and find the ways of supporting them going forward. In the end, integrity, transparency, and that strong commitment is always
Mm.
needed to build that relationship. And the only way you can do it is really being there. Sorry, Tanya, I see you've got your hand up.
Okay. She's itching to give a answer, ask a question. Go for it, Tanya. Do you wanna
Yeah, Jason, you've stolen all my questions. That's
Oh, okay.
But I've got one. I've got one, and that might now be, but what is it like being a woman in business in Dubai?
Good question.
Very good question.
So it's because Jason stole like People's the Party, Dubai, Lily, Contact the Business Council. He stole all of them. But what's it like being a woman in business? There we go.
So,
That's a very heavy one.
I would say, I haven't felt as safe as I've been in a long time here in Dubai. And with having the support of women as well in business and the men, everybody is really supportive, trying to see as best they can support you as well. I would not say it's very challenging. Obviously, as a woman, you need to be respectful of the religion as well, dress appropriately. So it does change a bit in terms of that, but us all being professional women, obviously we always wear appropriate clothing. But just being mindful of the different cultures and religions and also to listen well. It takes time to understand how to approach each type of person. There's different nationalities, people from all across the world.
Mm,
Everybody responds and listens differently to what you say and what you have to say. And you have to be mindful of that to carry your message correctly over to the next person so that they understand where you're coming from and what you want to achieve with the discussion. But in terms of equality, Dubai is also working very hard to make human or women's rights the same and equal as with male participants here in the UAE. So it's amazing to be part of the community here.
mm.
Well,
Great.
thank you very much. That was an excellent answer.
Excellent answer. Thank you, Lily. I'm just conscious of time. We've got literally 2 minutes for questions. Does anyone on want to raise their hand and ask Lily something specifically? If you can't raise your hand, then just
I'll raise my
unmute
hand.
yourself. Go for it, Sven.
Yeah, I mean, it's more of a technical thing. Why are you guys called the Business Council? Why aren't you called the Chamber of Commerce? Is it a league? Can't you do that in Dubai, or is it a?
That's a very good question, actually. As far as I understand, most of the other countries that register council or chamber is called business councils here in
Okay.
Dubai. There are chamber of commerces as well, but it might be a change and difference in terms of non-for-profit and
Okay.
for-profit and support with the government. So that might be also adding to the title change. But it's a very good question. We'll have to go and find out. So that was just out of
Yeah,
the
because
fist kind of
yeah, because I'm just thinking from a branding perspective, we'd like to, as all of us,
Mm,
be known as the Chambers, and we can start building on that brand. And
mm, mm.
and I see there's a lot of advantages for us to do that.
Mm.
You know,
Noted.
are you enjoying the job?
Yes, I am. I am. It's amazing to help and serve the community on this level. You get to meet so many interesting people, and it just opens up your horizons. And being able to link all of them back together, it's a privilege.
Well,
Awesome.
hopefully one day, Sven, we can have a global event where we get all the chambers together and we can all meet each other. I think let's wrap it there. Lily, thank you so much for today and sharing your insights and perspectives out of Dubai and what you're doing and just also sharing about yourself and making it personal and getting the listeners to understand you and know you better. Because it starts with relationships and I think
True.
so thank you for your time and I've enjoyed the preparation that we've had for this session and getting to know you better.